Good afternoon and welcome to the 6th Bailey Group Coronavirus Questions and Answers update session. I hope you're all keeping well in these testing times. So today we're talking about three topics today. The first one, we're going to just expand on some furlough information that's come through. Second piece is we're going to be talking about self-employment and the grant scheme relating to the self-employed. And the third and final thing is small business loan scheme, the one that's just been introduced this week. And then we'll be taking some questions from our audience that we always get sent in. Thanks very much for those. Keep them coming in to us. So furloughing then, as most of you will all know, the claims have gone in, and we have regular contributors to our little questions and answers. Well, you all remember David from Hartlepool. He was the one who went on the wrong website. He was a silly Billy, wasn't he? Well, he came on the right website after he came to us, asked for some advice. And do you know what? He put the claim in last Monday, and on Friday the money was in his bank. So well done, David. He was the first of our clients to ring up to say he'd got the money. Fantastic. Excellent. Well done, David. So, furloughing. We need to remember that the important date is the 19th of March. So anyone who is an employee before that date is able to be furloughed, and you can claim the grant for that employee. Remember, 80% of the wages, also 80% of the employer's national insurance, and 80% of the employer's pension contribution. So that's important as well. Now, obviously we've been doing lots of these claims now, and so just to go through what needs to be on the claim, if you're going to do it yourself, you need to have next to you your company unique tax reference, your pay-as-you-earn reference, the names and national insurance numbers and payroll references of the employees that you are furloughing, and then the gross amount that you are claiming, as well as the employer's pension and the employer's national insurance contribution. So it's pretty straightforward, the form. You'll then obviously need to put in your bank details and the postcode where the bank account is registered, and then click send, and it goes to HMRC. Now obviously HMRC will audit these claims. We personally, as a firm, have had a phone call from HMRC about our furloughing claim. Few questions about the claim, and then we passed those questions, and therefore it was sent for payment. So important, that piece. Remember that it's going to be audited, so make sure you've got backup of whatever you're going to put on the form, and make sure that you are confident in what you are claiming. We're now from tomorrow rather, we'll be into the second month of the scheme. So remember, you can only claim up to 14 days before the payment date. So if you pay on month end, so the 31st of May, for example, you might be paying in May, then you can only claim from the 14th of May onwards. But that should give you enough time to do the claim, and get the 6 days that HMRC are waiting before they pay out. So as long as you get it in somewhere around the 20th, 21st, 22nd, you should be fine to get the money before you have to pay the wages. Very good scheme, that seems to work. Comes on your bank statement as the coronavirus job retention scheme, and therefore you can see what it is very, very easily. Remember, it is a grant, it's not repayable, but it is taxable. So remember that as well. And also very important, of course, you will still need to pay the pay-as-you-earn over before the 19th of the month to HMRC. So remember to pay the pay-as-you-earn over. So the second point we want to go through today is the self-employed scheme. This scheme was brought out by the Chancellor slightly after the furloughing scheme in response to calls to help the self-employed. This one obviously is a bit more complicated, and he mentioned the idea of June. The Chancellor mentioned the idea of June. But what actually happens is that during May, so mid-May onwards, we are told, HMRC will be writing to people with the details of what their claim will be. So we need to look out for that letter. Obviously, if you're a client of ours, please give us the letter. Let's have a look at it. Let's go through it with you, and then we can decide whether HMRC are correct or not. Now, the basis of the scheme, it averages the 3 years from 2016-17 to 2019 of your self-employment profit that goes on your tax return. Not your turnover, it's the profit. And that has to be less than £50,000 for you to qualify, and it's got to be made up of more than half of your total income. So remember those last 2 points, really important. Now, what happens, we have lots of clients obviously who just started business in 2018 or 2019. Well, HMRC will take those figures on those returns and then deal with that. You have to have been trading all the way through 1920, and you have to be continue to trade in 2021, obviously, because this is a grant to help you through the coronavirus piece. So it's the average, again, as I say, of the 3 years. They'll take 80%, then they'll divide it by 12, so you'll get that monthly amount every month. Really important that, as I say, the letters will come out mid-May, and you will be able to drop them into us, and we'll deal with them for you. It's not something that we can do. We can't do the calculations. We can only check them. HMRC are going to do them themselves and then send them out to us. So that's really good. We had a phone call from one of our clients. He's a hairdresser, actually. He's called Mick. He's from Middlesbrough, and it's funny, actually, Mick. He's actually bald as a coot, but he's a hairdresser. It's great, isn't it? How funny things these actually, all these things are bringing up for us. He's self-employed. He wanted to know about the scheme. He's made some decent profits over the last 2 or 3 years, and so he's actually going to be getting the 80% of those profits. Again, Mick, when you get the letter, just drop it into us. Thanks very much. So the final piece today will be the small business loan scheme. This is it's what they're calling the bounce back scheme. So it's for small businesses or medium-sized businesses, loans of £2,000 to £50,000. Not a lot has been released about this yet, so I'm a bit sketchy on this one for you all, but obviously we'll fill in next week on next week's little video. And details are coming out on Monday in full, but essentially it will be no loan repayments for the first 12 months, no interest for the first 12 months, and the loan term has got to be less than 6 years. It's 100% guaranteed by the government, but remember, it's a loan, so it needs paying back. The self-employed grant and the furloughing grant and the rates grant, if you receive that, they're not repayable, but they are taxable. So remember that's important. The loan will need to be repaid back. So I say that's a bit sketchy on that one. We don't have a lot of details. They're coming out on Monday, so we'll deal with it in next week's episode, I think, if we get some decent information about it. That's all I want to say this week. Keep your questions coming in. You'll notice behind me, we've still got our little pair of Sean and we've got Benny. We had some complaints last week, actually, that the two of them were drinking Corona beer, which from, I don't know because I don't drink beer, but they were saying they were drinking Corona beer and it's too many calories. So this week they've changed to Michelob Ultra, which is only 75 calories. So, and you'll all guess who sent that complaint in. It was Rotund Tony from Liverpool. You remember him? He's the Santa in bins. So thanks for that, Tony. As you can see, we're taking advice to keep everyone happy and keep everyone relaxed and fit. That's important. Keep your exercise going. Stay at home, guys. We've only got a short time to go now. Stay at home, keep it going, keep safe, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Keep the questions coming in. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.